can I use you on this? So the technique that we're doing then is we're using one bong to another bong-ish because we're focusing on the elbow really. So it could be a bong, it could be a cup jam, depends. So you can either defend with this or you can strike with it. The idea initially is that when the bong's coming in, instead of like folding this in relaxed and turning, we're going to look at this a little bit more aggressive in as far as the attack. So like I said, initially is you could almost think of striking here. So that's the first thing we're going to do. We are going to bong that fax out. So there's a few, well, just come in with a strike. So we've got 1 and 2. That's what we're looking at. Really simple. One elbow, so I'm coming elbow 1 here and elbow 2. Super simple, but there's lots of little things that we kind of need to tick off on this. I said before about trying to go with the fluidity. So that's the first thing. We've got some people doing the bong and then deciding to do the carry on. So initially, let's remind ourselves that it's a bong that fax out. There's also sometimes I want to throw your hands out. That's great, that shows confidence with your hands. Because we're working on bongs, let's engage them as bongs, which means to start with, maybe just bring your hands together. That'll sort of help them to be out of the equation momentarily. You're not going to get this wrong if he throws a cross and you find yourself on the inside here. On the outside, we're going to lap fax out because that's the technique. We bong lap fax out. We don't just bong. We're just going to go straight in with this. That's the reaction that I want you to develop. If it was on the inside here, from there we're going to cover. We're not going to lap because if I commit to that and he does a jump here, that's going to straight away take me out. So from the inside here, I'm just going to cover with this and fax out, but the same principle would apply. Do you step in with the second elbow or do you not? That depends on if you've got a height or reach advantage or not. And it's also going to be dictated by how far the person steps in. If they've got a lot of reach and they step to here, then I can't use an elbow from there, so I'm going to find myself stepping in. Don't get in a position to do a technique, do the technique from the position you're in. That's kind of a principle that I like to use. Because we're using elbows, we need to assume that that person has stepped right in. They've stepped into a range that is now warranting that weapon of choice. You know, in the same principle that I'm not going to kick from here, I'm also not going to elbow strike from here. So we need to make sure we're in that range. Ideally then he wants to step right in with us. So as he steps right in, and I've done the first one, it's going to warrant the second one. Ideally. If he hasn't, and I find myself here, then you'll know why you're stepping in. So you can, you know, if you're kind of thinking, well, if I'm at that distance, and I've done that one, am I not better just punching? Yeah, you are. But for the sake of training the two elbows, let's get in. So as I say, this principle could be from the knife form, could be that sort of idea. Could be just the elbows in general from BG. We might be using it that way. These are lots of little top tips. A punch comes in, a normal bong. By normal bong, I'm going to say you're on the outside. That's a guard, and it laps. If you find yourself on the inside, here, bong choss out, then this still works. However, and also we're miles out of range. So we are closer, and he's able to bend that arm. So we see that bong kind of sucks a little bit. Which means that's why and how you sort of morph into a quonsal. So if I'm here, and this is why we always need to make sure we've got a prominent and definite guard. So the guard is here. If the other hand had come in and I use my bong here, I'm going to find that I'm going to be using that guard a lot more. I'm going to be throwing it out. So that's kind of similar to a quonsal, but we're throwing it out this way. And then again, from there, we're just going to cover as we fax out, and then we're going to step in. You notice as well when I step in, I'm not letting go of that straight away. When it's safe to let go is when I'll step in. Because he's not, in reality, any kind of reality, he's not going to stop attacking, because that's what he's trying to do. No one's ever going to punch you once and then say, oh, fair play, you blocked that rather well. You know, so they're going to continue with their mission, I guess. You've got a leg forwards, great, that's irrelevant. Whichever leg is forwards, we're going to use that Beaumont principle, but either arm is going to fire forwards. When you do, throw your bong, biggest tip with this, don't change your mind halfway through it. So a punch comes in, if you find yourself on the outside, great. See, you could actually be a lot closer. Yeah. But for the sake of it, we'll still go with this and we'll carry on. Well, yeah, demo, brilliant, thank you. But indeed, demo schmemo. We get that an awful lot in Danchisa as well. You know, like when you see, if you see people doing Danchisa really far away, so you go with the palm. You know, we see this an awful lot. You see it in books and so on, magazines. You know, sort of my views on this. You know, I think let's train something that's going to get a context and I've got a reason to block. But a lot of the time it is just so that people can see what we're doing. I would like to think that anyway.
That's a bit,
Nice
that's a
one.
bit too.
So when you come up with the punch, make sure you're aiming for your target and you step in. So we get into that position, you notice I'm kind of hitting a bit more than I'd normally like to with this, so we're going to think a bit more aggressive. So again, whichever hand it is, if I'm in with the one, then I'm in with the second. So we're going to really control what's happening there. So when we're comfortable with the fact that I'm going to turn, I'm going to throw my bong, I'm going to have a definite guard, my guard can go forwards if it needs to, and I want to flow with this. Which means never sacrifice technique for speed or power. So by all means, slow it all down, and whatever comes in, you're going to flow, you're going to flow. So it's just going to roll from one. I couldn't help that punch as well, because it was too slow.
Oh, no,
no, I know it was, but I mean, I just, too slow for me. But so whatever comes in, we're going to flow, and we're going to flow straight away. So either hand, so you come in, whatever it is, we're going to flow and flow. That's what we have to be very, very careful with elbows. If that person's still moving in and you're turning and you're close and it's bone, you know, we don't want accidents. So whatever comes in, here and here, straight away with the second one. So again, so you're just going to flow 1 and 2. Oh, sorry. No, getting excited. So again, here and here. You just kind of want to go here. So here and here. So as soon as you roll one elbow, you're going to roll the other elbow, making sure that we flow with it. If you find yourself on the inside, it's absolutely fine. We still carry on with this. Don't worry about it at all. So again, last one then. 1 and 2. Flow and flow. Did we have any hiccups? Have I mentioned everything that people were doing? Guide going forward. Oh yeah, one last thing as well. I did see 2 of you doing this. This is bong up fact out. Now, because you've overcommitted a little bit with a bong, you know, again, sometimes med happens. If I've gone, and I'm attacking this, been a bit overzealous, I'm now going to do the fact out, and the fact out's kind of moving over there. So do allow yourself, if the elbow is across, allow the elbow to move out a little bit, so the fact out finds its target before you step in. Make sure that and that all count. They've got to be on target. Because I saw a few of you kind of not. I know we're thinking about the elbow to the elbow, but there's a few of you sort of not putting the facts out in. So really, it's just a simple principle. What we're getting here is that if I've used the bong, my guard is high, I'm going to throw it forwards if I'm on the inside. It's going to be a natural progression because you're just going to kind of magnetise to other hands. As soon as you get that cover on the inside, don't grab, facts out, and then we're going to roll with the other elbow as well. Even more so if you're on the inside. Because what I don't want to do is get this, as I said, I don't want you blocking and then carrying on. We've got to flow. Comes in with a punch, and then stop, and I'm out.
Alright.
Yeah, because that's obviously what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So you throw either hand, it doesn't matter, whatever comes in, as soon as I get the contact, I've got to make sure that I keep rolling with that, and I keep flowing. So it's just a little bit of an idea of how we can work under pressure when someone's really on top of you and getting the elbows, because all these things that we train, forms, drills, chi-sao, it's all lots of range and lots of, you know, we don't find ourselves that tight that often. So if I'm stepping in, often you want to move back. That's great. As you did, you move back.
Sorry.
That's also fine. That's great. No, it's absolutely fine. But if you're against the wall and I'm pushing in, roll the elbow over. So the elbow's in, and the other one. And pin. That's it. So we get used to kind of using these elbows. We want to kind of get comfortable with that and not. If in doubt, get out. If you can step back. Sometimes you can't.
You can't.
You know, so if I can't move and you step in with something, I've got to make sure that here I'm going to be really comfortable with this, and I'm going to keep being comfortable. That one seems a little bit unorthodox. It's just chum Q. You know, same principle. So you can find these kind of blueprints in any of your forms really. Cool, lovely. Give it a go. Flow, flow, flow.
Oh, sorry.
And one elbow to the other. Cheers, guys. Thank you.